Hi y'all. So I'm doing my personal study time right now, and I want to share some things that I'm learning about in Second Chronicles 17. So I'm looking about Jehoshaphat and how his reign began, and just some of the things that are really, really important in our walk with the Lord. So in verse 1 it says, "Then Jehoshaphat his son reigned in his place and strengthened himself against Israel." Now that's like my first point I wanted to make. That do you think about like being strong? How do you view yourself? How do you consider yourself? And do you want to be strengthened? The first way that we do that is by realizing what our threats are. We have to first consider where our weaknesses are and what are the things that can get in our way of taking us off course, of taking us in a different direction, of distracting us. What are our temptations? And truly identifying what are the things that will pull us away. What are the things that are seducing us, and what are the things that are taking us off course? When we can be real with ourselves about that, then we can start to do something about it. We can strengthen ourselves against those things. But a lot of times what the problem is that people sometimes can deny that they have these issues, or they don't want to do nothing about it. They make excuses of how busy their life is or everything else. And then when everything falls apart, they realize then that they should have indeed done something before to prevent this ruin and disaster, right? So when we are in a place of growth, especially when we're in a place of pursuing something that's very important, when God has us in a place of transition, we want to recognize in that moment, like, what are the things that are keeping me back from going forward, from growing, from being all that God wants me to be? Is it myself? Am I making the wrong choices? Do I have the wrong priorities? Do I need to re-examine my routine, my commitments, who I'm around, the people I'm letting in my life? Am I overcommitted in a sense of having too much in my life that is unneeded? Because really what we really need is what? We really need to be right with the Lord, and we need the things of God in our life to grow and to build and to be poured into and replenished in ourselves. We got to be plugged into the Word, to fellowship, which is through church, Bible study, serving God, and being about His business, and the rest comes. So my question to you today is, what is your walk like? Are you aware of what those things are, number one? And are you willing to agree with God about it? And will you turn to Him and ask for His help to be able to remove some of those things, and to accept the caution and the calling to be aware and be careful? Because that's something Jehoshaphat shows us, and in the Bible we are taught a lot about how we need to follow the examples of the people of faith that did it right, that pleased God, that had victory. And we see Jehoshaphat as a very strong leader in the Old Testament, and he did great and mighty things for God, and God was pleased with him.